And you got to think too, what if they ran through that money?
They probably did. That's why I make fun of all these rappers who are crashing their cars 2 times in a fucking month, like September's broke, and they're saying they're rich, and I'm like, bro.
Yo, why do you got problems with September's Rich, man? Like that's my man's. Like he tapped in with me. He was like, yo, why is that dude talking shit?
He wanted to box me, and I was like, dude, I fucking train MMA. I will fuck you up.
Well, why does he want to box you? Like, were you putting dirt on his name or something like that?
He said he was about to potentially get 14 years in prison or something.
Yeah.
When it really just said 4 months. And all I did was say like, yo, that paperwork says 4 months or something similar. And then he got all mad saying I was capping on. He was like, you don't know shit about the legal system. And I was like, actually, I studied law in college, so I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Damn. So that's what made him want to. That doesn't sound like that made him want to fight you though.
Yeah, that is why. Because I came back and said like, yo, I know my rights. I know how the legal system works. And then he said, want a box? And then, okay, I said, okay.
Damn, so you're gonna basically be throwing hands with September's Rich in the backstage VIP of Rolling Loud Miami,
of Yeat's tour. Yes, in the what's it called? In the backup dancer lounge.
Man,
Yeah.
I think you need to forgive and forget with September's Rich, man.
I actually don't care that much. I just think it's funny.
It is funny, but that's like that dude's already struggling, man. Like he's eating off of somebody else, you know, like he's trying to get it out the mud. He's trying to make a name for himself, and you're here like you're killing him before he even took off.
He was in my Twitch stream like when his album dropped, asking me to listen to his project.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's trying to make it. Like it's a different thing when Smoke Perp blew up already, and then you talk shit about Smoke Perp. But September's Rich didn't even take off. Like you're cutting his legs off before he's even standing.
He doesn't need to do shit. He has a Yeat feature, which is gonna last him forever, so long as Yeat continues his career. And I assure you,
he might not continue it.
I assure you, Yeat did not charge him for that feature, so he's just gonna get millions and millions of streams every single however long. I think September's Rich is good monetarily.
Yeah, but
he probably got an easier life than me. It's
not just about the money though. Like September's Rich wants to be an artist himself and to, you know, have his own name. So if you just keep saying like, yo, like you got to think how many times Yeat fans are just like, man, we're not trying to hear September's Rich. We're not trying to hear Yeat's weed carrier. We're not trying to hear like Yeat's purse carrier. Like we're not trying to hear Yeat's coat rack before he goes on stage. They're saying all this stuff about him.
Hold up. And are you actually boys with September's Rich?
Nah, I've never spoken to the dude. I was trolling in the beginning, but I do feel for the guy. Like, yo, he hasn't even taken off yet. Like, he's still trying to make a name for himself. I think he was just tweaking out. I think you should tap back in with September's Rich and be like, hey, man, like, let's like, yeah, why not? Be the peacemaker. Be the bigger man. Do you consider yourself to be smarter, more respectable, and a more upstanding person than September's Rich?
Well, here's the thing. And this goes with every single person I have, quote, problems with in the industry or whatever, the game. I actually don't take anything to heart whatsoever. And that's, remember when you made a video on this about Sofago? Like he said some pretty bad things. And I was like, I brush everything off because to me, this whole social media thing isn't real. Like cyberbullying
you were
is not
copping
real.
Please to Sofago because he's popping. You're dunking on September's Rich because he's not hot. So you saw Sofago. Sofago said foul shit about you. That's worse than anything. September's Rich saying he wants to throw hands or whatever. That's not nearly as bad as what Sofago said. But I think you were seeing how popping Sofago's gonna get, and you want to keep that relationship.
It comes from a different place. Sofago like was hurt about something I said about like his art. So I get like why he would be offended, but I just wanted him to realize like okay. My sister has like, she's not bipolar. She's got like some shit going on. So sometimes people just say really irrational, outrageous things because they're hurt, and I could sense that. So I obviously fought back at Sofago, but when he made amends, I was like, okay, this is cool. If September's Rich were to make amends now, I would be completely fine. I actually don't hate him at all. Not one bit.
All right, September's Rich, I know you're gonna see this. You have nothing better to do. Like, hit him up. He doesn't want to be the bigger man, so just tap back in with him. He not gonna expose you or nothing, and y'all can be cool. Cause I want to see September's Rich win. He seems like a cool guy. I've seen videos of him opening up on Yeat's tour. He's a good hype man. He's performing. He's been taking a lot of hate from Yeat fans. Like, I got nothing bad to say about the dude. I really don't. And you got to think, are you going to compare Sofago getting upset about his music to this guy's like facing a case? Sure, it could be 4 months, 14 months, 14 years, whatever. Like, his freedom being on the line and you saying something about that, even if it's correcting it, that warrants someone being more upset than their music being criticized.
But that's just from plain stupidity as opposed to like an opinion. Like, okay, Sofago may have said some shit that was over the line, but sticks and stones may break my bones, whatever. Don't hurt me. I don't care about what anybody says. I wouldn't be here if I did. But September's Rich, he just kept going and going and going when I'm just like a troll. Like, I'll continue the beef as long as he continues it. So when he said he boxed me, I was like, all right, bro, let's fucking box. You're a fucking crackhead. Let's go ahead. And since then, he's blocked me and whatever. So that's why the beef ain't over. And again, there's no beef. There's no beef. I really don't care at all. I do it for the memes at this point.
Yeah, but do you think if you had when he first initially got upset and angry, do you think if instead of going on live or something, you had DM'd him and be like, yo, like, why are you trying to like fight over something? I was just correcting this. If there's anything wrong, let me know. Do you think he still would have been on that, or he would have been like, all right, cool, like,
he would have had some like heat energy, like he would have came back.
Are you sure? We don't know, because that never happened.
And I did go on live. I have the same protocol with rappers, no matter who it is. I went live on Sofago. I even made fun of him like the first couple of lives back. Like, you can go back into the receipts. And I think Sofago watched that, and then he was like, oh damn, like, I see how this is. Let me just, go apologize real quick.
I don't know, man. It's like you got beef with all, like, it can't just be all of these rappers' faults that you got beef with them. Like, you had issue with Trippie Red, you got September's Rich. No, I'm not saying I'm not a partial problem. I never said that at all. Dude, I think you got to cut September's Rich some slack, man. Like, do you want to end this guy's career before it starts?
I haven't said anything recently. What have I done?
Yo, you just brought him up. I would never bring up September's Rich. You were like, yo, somebody like September's broke. You posted him on Instagram crashing his second car. Like, the dude's like, life is hitting him hard, and you keep stomping on him. Like, you put on the Timbs and you're just kicking him in the head. Like, the dude's passed out.
It's all part of the game. Sorry, bro. Like,
I think you got to find forgiveness in your heart for September's Rich. He didn't do anything to you.
I actually don't care. I promise you. I do it for the fucking memes.
Yeah, but you don't think it would be a meme if, like, you linked up with September's Rich and y'all got a pic together? I think that would be a viral underground meme. And I think that would do more than you talking shit about him.
It might.
All right, so if we're talking like trolling, clout, meme, I think that would that would eclipse everything else.
I also just enjoy like messing with people who can't hang mentally. Like they can't play the mind game.
So you're bullying then?
In a way. Like I'm not bullying. I'm not bullying, I'm trolling, but like people just can't fucking bro, you are like high roading me right now. Don't act like with your homies, like with your homies in real life. You don't like fuck around with them being like, yo, pussy. Like get out. Like they'll try and, I don't know. I go to the gym a lot, so it's a lot of talking shit. At jiu-jitsu, like I'm calling everybody pussy before I fucking roll with them, or we spar in Muay Thai. Like that's just how I am.
I mean, no, you're deviating right now. You said he can't mentally hang. So if let's just take this perspective of him, he can't mentally hang. That's bullying if you're punching down at him.
I don't see it as punching down, because he claims that he's like he claimed that the only reason I have a fan base is from beefing with him.
Ain't no way he said that bullshit.
I promise you he said that.
No, he probably said the only way you got a fan base is because of like beefing with other rappers.
No, he said him.
Well, he's probably just emotional then.
Okay.
You know he doesn't believe that.
He can't hang mentally.
Yeah, and if he can't hang mentally, that means you just gotta leave him alone. Like if a homeless dude comes like tweaking out at you, you're not gonna like start arguing with the homeless dude for like hours on end.
Of course not. But here's the thing. It's my job to report on good and bad. You do it too.
Yeah, but I don't report on September's Rich because he's not popping.
But
September's Rich is not even popping in your
because
sector.
because it's so relevant to me personally, and I think that's what separates my news page on Instagram from a lot of others. Like there's inside jokes and whatnot that like only my fan base or audience would get, and that's why it's funny. And people like the trolling. I like the trolling. Like it's just funny.
I think it goes to a certain level though. Like for example, like let's say you're trolling Cash Dami, let's say you're trolling Jace, let's say you're trolling Summers, Can, Autumn. Let's say you're trolling any of these guys, any of these other dudes, I'll be like, yeah, bro, just keep trolling them. But September's Rich, like
you're a dick rider.
It's like, bro, nah, because it's like, yo, would you troll somebody on your own? Would you troll somebody that's an artist on your own chat? Because that's basically what September's Rich is. He just so happened to get a cosign from somebody. He doesn't got no fans.
Okay. And
yeah, so I feel like if you keep putting him into the ground, he's a joke before he could even make a career. Like
he was a joke before I even did anything. You just may not have known about him. But okay, here's another reason. I supported him before he came at me. Because a lot of Yeat fans would already say like Yeat's cheerleader, Yeat's best friend, Yeat's weed roller. But I would actually post and be like, yo, stop shitting on this dude. What the fuck did he do? I think there's even videos prior to the video that I corrected him about his 4 months in jail. We talked about his codeine usage and how he's an addict, and I was even like, yo, like I don't know why everybody messes with him. Literally like a couple days later, then he comes at me and I'm like, yo, I was literally on your side. You want to fuck with me? That's cool. Like I'm down. I think that's where it all stemmed from.
So would you say like you were a little bit hurt? Like, damn, dog, like I was actually supporting you when I could have just rode the bandwagon and shitted on you, and that's what made you feel like.
I wouldn't say hurt, because again, I don't take any of this shit personally, but like it gave hurt isn't the right word, but yes, the same concept as you saying yes.
Okay.
It's like a betrayal almost. Like, okay, I was supporting you, now like you gain an enemy. Even though again, I'm not an enemy. I don't care. it's just all for the jokes. And bro claims that he's still got money, and I think that he still does have money. So whatever, it's all good.
Yeah, I feel that.
Now, such as Twisty P, totally different situation. I'm not gonna troll Twisty P regardless of like what happens to him, because that's a situation I actually feel bad about.
Yeah, that's foul. That's foul. I feel bad for him too.
Especially being somewhat involved, because I met him in real life and he was cool. He was like way different than what he acted like. And I truly think he's bipolar, in the sense that he like will go ballistic online and then he'll come back to earth and be the nicest guy ever. I don't know.
Someone told me though that he doesn't think that he's got any, he doesn't think he's bipolar or anything like that. He just thinks that like there's certain people that their life was like maybe like becoming like a pro athlete or something, and when that's taken away they just don't know what to do, and they kind of like just lose their minds, I guess, whether it's drugs.
I don't think he was ever a pro athlete,
or like I don't know, I thought he was supposed to be like some D1 player for something.
So
lost that.
I did a vlog with him and like I fucked him up in a race.
Yeah, but wasn't he a baseball player?
But baseball players still have to be fast. Like they still time you when you're a prospect. Like the original gym that I trained at when I was getting recruited for football, there was a lot of baseball players because it was a big region for that. And yeah, they time your like going to bases type shit, or like your lateral speed and whatnot.
So was that fraud? Was that just fake news put out about him?
I think it was fraud. Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
I think it was a narrative.
Might be nuts.
I don't think it was him that put it out there. I think the fans just like found out he played baseball and like saw him hit a couple balls pretty far and like, oh shit, like this dude's a prospect.
That's the first time I've ever seen somebody get good fake news go viral.
Well, you saw, you posted about it. Joey Badass. With the Logic situation, like as long as like 5 reputable news stations or blogs post something, like it's automatically confirmed.
But he co-signed it.
Right.
So Joey Badass kind of co-signed it. So at that point, you don't think he threw shots at Logic by doing that? Especially that tweet. Like he did not have to say, yo, I did it because I didn't want to go on tour with Logic. He could have just said like, yeah, I just let that rock because I wanted to see what the internet does.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Like,
do you think he doesn't like Logic?
I think he doesn't like how. I think Joey Badass has this vision for his brand, and I think he realized that he doesn't want that associated with Logic's brand. I don't think that means he dislikes Logic as a person, but that's what I would deduce from it.
But I feel like Joey Badass has kind of gone down a bit.
I mean, he hasn't dropped in years, but
I think Logic has a bigger fan base than Joey Badass. Why would he not want to be associated with that?
Because just the branding. I think he doesn't want to be associated with the labels that Logic gets, like whether it's like corny or whatever.
What is Joey Badass? What are the labels people give Joey Badass? And I understand your logic, but I'm just arguing against him, like his decisions.
He's a respected
lyricist.
Right. I guess so, yeah.
Right. But so is Logic in a sense, like.
Nah, he's not. Like Logic is actually like an elite level lyricist, but he's not respected as
because
like,
he went pop.
No, I just think people just saw him as corny. Especially like the biracial stuff like that. Just
yeah, how he says that in every song.
Like that narrative just went up, so people have a degree of respect for Joey Badass's music that the same people do not have for Logic.
Okay, that makes sense. They say you listen to Logic. You listen to Logic?
Not really. No.
Yeah, I don't listen. I listened to his mixtapes back in the day, but not when he got big.
Like if he drops out, like the only project from Logic I haven't listened to was the Everybody project, because he was talking about like, oh, this is a concept of biracial and like the world. I'm like, man, get this shit's way too cool. But he's dropping a project I think in 2 days. I don't know. It's 30 songs. I don't know if I'm listening to 30 songs of Logic. I would like to check it out, but I don't know if I. But I'll check out his stuff when it drops.
Right. I don't know if I ever give up the time to listen to Logic.
Yeah, that's fair. But you don't think Logic is getting shots thrown at him by Joey Badass?
They probably spoke after that. After he tweeted that.
Let's keep it a buck. If you were Logic, would you feel offended?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think Logic is even gonna say anything because he's so much bigger than Joey Badass. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, nah. I think Logic is just out of hip hop. Like he has rap fans and stuff like that, but I just don't think he exists in the conversation or sphere really anymore.
I also feel like he has fuck you money.
Yeah, I think he also lives within his means to where his fuck you money is like fuck him 3 times money.
Yeah, like I can't wait to have that. That's the ultimate goal. Have fuck you.
I don't know if you have that money. I can't imagine how much beef you get.
No, I wouldn't even say anything.
Man, stop the cap.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I would probably be talking shit to everybody.
You're gonna be beefing with every rapper. You're gonna call them all broke. You're gonna be like, yo, I'm getting so much more money than you're gonna pull up your bank account on screen and be like, yo, whoever rapper you're beefing with at that time, like, let me see what yours is.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Big Tubby has been dissing me in the chat saying Bob obsessed with money. Honestly, you're not wrong. I don't see money as a... I don't want money for materialism, though. I want money for... To me, at least, and obviously other people have different values, I think money is a counting system for how much value you've brought into the world.
Man, get that bullshit out of here.
I'm not talking about like...
I don't believe that's how you see it.
Or like status. Like what...
I believe that you're just you. Like I agree with that statement to a certain level, and I'm gonna give you an opposite example right now. But
go ahead.
I think that you just, number one, you like money because of the security and because you get to shit on people. Like you feel better, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But to counteract the like how much value you brought, Steak is making a lot of money. They've ruined a lot of lives from the gambling.
Okay,
stuff.
You're right. Because I wouldn't take a bag from... You know what? I might take a bag from Steak given a different scenario and dependent upon the money, but currently I would not take a big gambling bag, just like I didn't take NFT bags for videos. So you're right. Yeah, respect over money for sure. Yeah. But still, I think like the ultimate goal is to... Like money buys you freedom. It doesn't make you happy, but it gives you freedom to do the things that make you happy.
I agree. I think for certain people, like money can make them a better person.
Right.
Some people, I think it just like I agree with the statement where it's like, oh, money amplifies like who you are. Like maybe somebody was like really frustrated that they didn't have money, but they were good at heart, and then when they got money, they didn't have to worry about that stress. So now that they're able to just like be a better person, like be nicer to people and stuff like that. But I do think some people just want to shit on other people, not necessarily broke people, but people that like think they're the shit. And I think you're the type of individual that you want to shit on rappers because you feel like they shit on other people, which I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that.
You're not wrong. Somebody in INSAF said Bob would beef with every mainstream rapper if he had more money than them. I don't think I would beef with them. It's just I would give my opinion just like you do. But for some reason they respond. Well, actually, okay. Here's the difference between our YouTubes, right? And brands. you're bigger than me. However, you cover mainstream artists, whereas I cover people more similar to my size. So they see it and they feel like they should or can respond, right? So it's a little more active. Whereas like if you cover, I don't know, Yachty, like he's much less, there's much less of a likelihood for him to respond. So I don't necessarily think that, I don't know, that I'm trying to beef with these people. It just happens to happen.
All right, I'm gonna give you an opposing view. I don't, for example, Sofago is not going to respond to me. I made that video about Sofago. It did like over 100K. He's not going to respond to me. What's his name's not going to respond to me.
So why did he respond to mine with fucking like 10, 20K?
I don't know. I also think it's because you have maybe like a stranglehold, or I think it's because you had already spoken about him a lot, so he's familiar with you or something like that. But Smoke Perp never responded to me, but he came at you, dig.
True. Maybe it's because we have the face, like we're a person. Not that you're not a person, but like
that makes sense.
You're like, for all they know, you could be, I don't know, some fat ass behind a screen playing Minecraft all day. Not that that's bad, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I am a fat ass behind the screen playing
You're not
Minecraft.
a fat ass. That's where I think it might be different. I don't know. Like, has Blackie Speaks ever beef with anyone?
Yeah, but Blackie's like, he's not insulting people. Like,
yeah, he's not
very careful with his words.
Yeah. I'd say academics. Academics didn't really start beefing with people until his streams.
No, I think you're right that it's
when they
less
put a
like
face to
someone
it
to come at me because I'm just like a voice. That makes sense. But one thing that I will have to go with is, for example, like I was talking about Rich the Kid. I made some video talking about like, yo, you don't own your masters, like cut the BS. And then he DM'd me and he said, yo, this was one of the funniest DMs I got. He said, "You fool." This is all in all caps. "You fool, I own my masters. How can you say that French Montana raps better than me?" And then he linked me my video. And what I said was like, yeah, I think French Montana is a better like skilled rapper wise than you. And if you'd like to, like, do you have any like rebuttal or like evidence to prove that, you know, like you actually own the masters to Plug Walk and New Freezer and stuff like that? And that was my reply. I didn't up the ante and be like, man, you don't own shit. You're a fool. French Montana can wrap circles around you. So I feel like I'm more cordial and I'm willing to, I wouldn't say de-escalate, because I felt like if he was disrespecting me, then I'm more down to get to the facts.
He DM'd you. A lot of these people publicly say shit to me about me.
Okay, but I think if they publicly say shit and you DM them, then it'll cut off there. I'm saying if you do DM them and
why
be like,
would
yo,
I
like,
DM them?
To mediate the situation, just be like, hey, what's the disagreement here? We can solve it.
But again, I don't think it's really like, I'm not offended by people. It's just like, okay, you just entered the game, little boy.
Yeah, because you want to shit on them.
Well, also, it's a fucking clout game, right? Like
I don't think you do it just for clout.
Okay, you're right. I don't do it just for clout, but it helps with that. It's fun to like it gives me more content to speak on rather than just me. Like, sometimes I feel like I get in this rut where it's like, okay, what happened today? Like, let's read a fucking article. Let's react to a video. When it's something personal that happened to me, like, I love telling stories about shit and like talking about that, because it's more like, it comes more from the soul as opposed to regurgitating the daily news.
Yeah, it's fun, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think you would be beefing back and forth with Trippie Red.
Yeah, you're right.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But okay, here's another thing. When I was with Trippie Red in the studio, he had legit like 20.
Well, let me say it. That's not what I'm referencing. I'm not referencing that specific situation. I just use Trippie Red as a placeholder.
But no,
anybody as popular as Trippie Red,
I would
you could replace them.
I would though. Here's the thing. Okay, So if the situation in the studio did not occur where I got bitched, basically,
I wouldn't call it that, but
for specific reasons, which we can get into, feel like I got bitched because there was 15 dudes in that studio that like I was cool with some of them, but of course, like if I were to say anything back, like they're on Trippie's side, right?
Yeah, of course.
So,
they're Trippie's minions.
Yeah, so I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna dip because I was not gonna mess around with that shit. So if Trippie were to say something online afterwards, which we're cool now, we're fine now. We talked afterwards. If he were to say something online, like he's got backup, like evidence to prove that I'm the bitch in the situation. But if it was completely level playing field, whereas he's coming at me just for a video, then I would have said something back. Like I would have played the game. You get what I'm saying?
You're not the bitch in the situation though. Like what other way are you supposed to handle that? Number one, you're in the guy's studio, so it's not even your place. Number two, it's his environment. Number three, he felt like, I'm not just going to go into, but he felt some type of way about you for whatever reason. And there's a ton of people there. Like the appropriate thing is like, hey, this is not my spot. I was invited here by another individual. I don't want to mess up. Like, for example, if you sat there, let's just say you sat there and you're like, yo, I ain't going nowhere. Like, what's the problem? Then now you're putting the person that invited you in a bad position, because then Trippie's going to be looking, I'm like, yo, why the hell did you invite that dude? This and that. He didn't want to leave when we kicked him out. This is like foregoing any violent stuff. So you handled that appropriately. Like, okay, I'm not welcome here. I get up and leave. I don't think you got bitched in that situation.
I'm not saying I didn't do the right thing. One, morally. Two, safety of my life. Three, everything else. I'm just saying I took an L. However capitalization you want to call it. Like I just had to hold the L real quick, and it's okay. I'm fine. Yeah, but I feel like
you can only take an L if there's a potential W. There's no potential W, so it's not an L or a W. It just is. I don't even want to talk about the situation though, because like my point was the situation. So you would just be beefing with Trippie Red.
I would beef with Trippie for sure. If the situation did not occur, I would clap back at anyone.
All right, but would you be more inclined to?
I would probably be more inclined to clap back at Trippie.
Okay. All right, that seems fair then.
Because there's more to gain from it.
Yeah, I see that. All right.
And because with that situation that happened, I got to talk about it on stream. So I turned it into a somewhat W by like, that's one of my most viewed clips on the series of clips are part of my most viewed clips on my second channel.
Yeah. And I think a lot
turned it into money.
Supporters were on your side. I think that's why. I think you caught the W because, and you don't got to speak on this, so you don't get into nothing with Trippie Red again. But I think you caught the W because Trippie probably saw that all of the supporters or whatever were like, damn, like Trippie's overreacting, like what's his problem, blah, blah, blah. Because I saw that was the narrative that was forming. And he hit you up and was like, you know, like, or something happened where you were able to mediate the situation. But I think if everybody was clowning you and there wasn't a movement, I guess you could call it, of people saying that was wrong of Trippie to overreact like that, I don't think Trippie would have cared.
I think one of the reasons that people may have accepted it is because I took the L. Like if I were to have, and I'm not going to mention names here, but like continuously like fight back thinking that I was in the right, I don't think he would have said anything. I don't think he would have made any amends with me. I think people would clown me even more.
So how did you end up getting, like, did Trippie hit you or somebody got Trippie to hit you or something?
So his boy Sonny 2.0, they called me like days later after I had talked about it on stream and just went over how like I was in his studio. I'm not gonna like. I'll obviously take the L, and I think that they resonated with that. And then they told me it was because of his girl doesn't like me because I talked about like some past shit where she dated Cody Shane and now she's with Trippie and Cody Shane had beef. What?
Isn't Cody Shane a girl?
Yes.
Okay, continue.
No, that's it. And now Cody and Trippie were like,
oh yeah, I know. But do you have more respect for Trippie because like he actually like reached out and squashed it behind the scenes?
I don't think he actually cared too much to make amends. Like, I think he just did it because he saw that maybe I was like growing and that like I don't know, I'm somewhat of a voice. That feels so weird to say, but like, you know,
yo, that feels weird to say, but you want to shit on and sun rappers. Like, come on, man. Like, at least, like, if you're gonna talk your shit, like, at least be consistent with it. Be like, yeah, I'm the voice of this underground.
I'm not like
shit.
that though. That's the thing. People just bring it
then
out.
Why you beefing with these motherfuckers?
People bring it out. I don't ever claim that I'm the voice of anything.
Yeah, you're the voice, just like Dirk.
Nah, I don't claim. That's the thing. People, they're putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying that I'm doing anything. Just when you attack me personally over something that is wrong, I'm gonna say you're wrong. And if you do it publicly, I'm gonna do it publicly. If you do it privately, I'll do it privately. I just mash. Cool. That's all it is.
You're the voice. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
I'm not the voice.
Who's your competition? Though. Who's your competition then?
Like, I'm talking Patrick about CC, Academics.
We don't make the same content. Academics is not talking about Ken Carson, Sofago, whatever. Like you're the voice of that scene. Like Say Cheese is the voice of a lot of these like Midwest, like 30 Deep, grimy, all of these like other rappers, like these gritty rappers. Say Cheese is that voice. You're that voice of this like subculture / genre. You have no competition. Your Dig's been gone. Shout out Your Dig. That's my man's.
I don't think he was ever in this scene though.
He would have been though. He just left before it developed.
I think he was a hardcore Cardi fan.
My man's Your Dig.
I'm not
sure. You were a hardcore Cardi fan.
I was, but before I talked about Cardi, I was talking about other shit. It just happened to pop off more, so then I got deeper into it. But then I legit got depressed because I was like, I do not give one fuck about like I don't know, the history of Minecraft Kid Cudi pissy pamper version leak, you know? I was like, what am I doing here? Why am I listening to Playboy Cardi snippets that are 6 seconds every day? I'm fucking 25 years old.
Yeah. That's a thought that ran through my mind actually. And then when you said it, I was like, oh, okay, so he's thinking the same thing. That's why I think you like developed a lot. And I thought you didn't enjoy it. I was like, yo, there's no way you.
I didn't. And so then I took a break, got back into it, but did like what I wanted to do. But I also sprinkled in some of the older shit that was getting views. I just had to. There's a little bit of selling your soul within social media, of like catering to what gets views, right? But then you have to also do what you like. So it's just a balance is what I've found.
Yeah, but I do think like you're the voice of this thing, and I think you feel that way, but you just don't want to say it. Because let's keep it a buck. Like even on Instagram, like your Instagram numbers go crazy. Your Instagram numbers eclipse my IG numbers.
I've been doing it longer. I've started and stopped like 5 times with it.
Yeah, but you're up. Like everyone, all of these artists, they know who you are. They want to have positive, reviews or whatever you want to call it. Positive feedback from you. They reach out to you more. Like you're more connected than really anybody else for the most part, especially within that scene. Like you have zero competition. There's nobody else that's even like within 10% of you that's doing the same thing and covering the same thing.
Do you know who Naval Ravikant is?
Yeah, I do. I actually mess with that dude heavy.
So he has this one quote. It's like something about the road to, I don't know. It's something about like having a blue ocean is just being as much of yourself as possible. As in, all you need to do to be successful is just because nobody can beat you at being yourself. So just do that as your business. And that's all I've tried to do.
I agree, but is that agreeing with what I said?
It's agreeing with what? Okay, but it's agreement of what you're saying in that I own my portion, my niche, and I speak for my niche, but everyone does. They speak to their own niche.
Dog, stop! You talking like a hippie now. Just take, like, it's a lot of people are talking about the same niche though. And if there's one person that's talking about the same niche better and bigger than everyone else, then that's the head honcho.
But that's because I'm doing something that nobody else does. I don't think that I'm better than anyone. I just think that there's no one else in this niche.
So
now
there's other people. There's other people.
There are. Shout out Saint Clout. Shout out some others.
Yeah, those others, they ain't on your level.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so you the king of this. That's it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I agree.
All right, finally, it took you forever, man.
Well, I'm just saying, like, my overall view of success is that you don't have to be better than anyone at anything. You just need to be more consistent. And I think that's how I got here, just by daily uploading. I don't think that
if you daily upload and you're whack. Like if you didn't have this connection where people like mess with you and you weren't good, you could be daily uploading mid every day and you would probably grow eventually, but you wouldn't grow as quick as you did because you grew quick.
But I also put in so much time that people didn't understand. Like I was a editor for a 1 million subscriber YouTube channel prior, and I was running meme pages for them. I was running a whole bunch of different social media things. And also I managed an artist. So I spent and wasted a whole bunch of money and learned about publishing and the behind the scenes, the music business. So I started that in like 2016. And shit didn't start popping off for me until like 2020. But
all right, and a lot
in
of
the grand scheme of things,
4
years is still not a long time for a successful business.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you this because I was tripping when you were thinking about quitting. I was like, why would you quit when you got the crown right now? There's nobody around you. And like, you know, I got your explanation, but I'm just saying that right now you have this moat around you where anyone that's covering similar stuff that you're covering is going to be seen as somebody that's trying to get to your position. And that's what they see too. They're like, yo, I want to be like that guy. So if you just keep doing what you're doing right now, you're just going to stay on top.
But I'm not trying to quit right now. And when I didn't say you were trying to quit. And when I was quitting, I wasn't in this niche. Like Yeat hadn't really done shit yet. Like as in popped off. So Fago, I literally made like
quit. I'm just saying that right now you're that guy and you are going to continue to like wield like a broader influence and your topics and range is probably just going to continuously grow. But the fact that that's just what I wanted you to understand, because I didn't understand you would beef with these rappers and you'd be like, yo, I'm smarter than them, this and that, and I troll them. But you kind of wanted to be humble about the fact that you were running this whole scene, upcoming scene.
Because there's different situations and whatnot that you gotta show your cock size, and the other times you gotta put it back in your pants, you know.
And I think this situation is where it would be appropriate.
Nah, I don't need to brag or like anything with my chat and you. Honestly, again, when I talk to you and Patrick CC, I'm like, God damn, like I can't flex at all.
Yeah, but you ain't got. Nah, I mean, like Patrick CC is sunning both of us. Like we gotta chill.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't want to flex or anything. But I'm just saying like I don't feel the need to say I'm the voice of anything when I'm talking to you or my chat, because it's just I just be when I'm streaming. I just say what's on my mind. I don't have this predetermined message of like, okay, we gotta hit, like, make sure everybody knows that I'm the fucking man of this underground shit.
I don't think that you have to say it. It's just that when I said it, you didn't, like, you just have to accept it. So if someone else says it, then you just be like, yeah, I know, I'm doing my thing.
But I don't like that. And maybe that's to my fault.
I don't think so.
I just don't like the feeling of there's times where I'll flex, but it's more of like a troll flex. And then I don't like to flex like authentically.
I don't think it's flexing, or I wanted to know if you were aware of that.
Of course, I'm aware of my position currently.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, yeah.
Because everyone else, like, especially like all these dudes that are following, like these dudes are all watching your stuff like every day. So they, you know what I mean? Like that's an important thing to have. Like, you're wielding that influence. And I'm not saying it on some like, oh, do the right thing. Like, man, do it.
But at the same time, I'm not scared, but there's only one way to go when you're at the top of a certain niche. So I make sure like I don't get comfortable. That's why I come on stream every day. We're talking about whatever's popping, or like I'm testing something new, different topic. We're listening to different artists, seeing what's sticking. I make sure to check all the data on my Instagram posts. Like, okay, oh shit, this I saw these Yeat posts were going up. I'm like, oh, is he the next up artist? And then we start checking him out more, etc., etc. I'm very data driven.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're in a position where you're at the top, so there's people gunning for you. Like, I get to chill. I ain't at the top. I'm just chilling. Like, nobody's. So I don't got to worry about that. It's kind of like I can only aim up, in terms of you have to, like, you're for lack of a better word, somebody that's got to like defend the belt, I guess, for this scene.
Right. And so that's why I just continue to go. And plus it's fun. Like, I actually enjoy what I talk about now. So
what do you think changed? Just the diversity of artists?
When I started streaming, the interaction and the conversational attitude, as opposed to when I was making videos before, it felt like I was talking down to people, or like talking as the expert in the subject, whereas now I feel like I am a participant. Like, I don't feel like I know more about, like, different beefs when I react to things. I actually ask the chat questions like, yo, what the fuck happened with this dude? What's the context? As opposed to before, I'd have to like research, and then if I'm wrong, my expert credibility is gone. Whereas now when I'm reacting to it, if I'm wrong, I just said like, yo, I didn't know. I was just watching something online.
Yeah. You think, I mean, that's kind of the blessing, I guess, of getting to a certain size, is that a lot of people now, they have the time that they're like really diehard fans. So they'll put you onto stuff before you even come across it. So you think it's like do you like streaming because you're like chilling with it's kind of like chilling with the boys or whatever, and you're just like chopping it up about something that you're all interested in?
Yes, exactly. And also we can talk about different things, whereas like we have probably 10 clips tonight, right? And so if one of them pops off, it was a success in my eyes. Whereas when I was back just being making YouTube videos, you spend, I don't know. I mean, we both have our processes down where it doesn't take that long anymore. But back in the day, it would take like 3-4 hours to edit a video and like script it and, research and edit, whatever, cut down the audio. And if a video flopped, like, I felt bad. But now I don't even check my stats on the video because I'm like, I put out 10 videos. One of them's going to pop off. Or not pop off, but like do decent enough where, you know, I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
That is the main reason.
Yeah. So this shit's like more fun now.
Yeah, because now I can talk, and a lot of things that I want to talk about, I'll realize later, you know, maybe this wasn't as clippable content as I thought, but I still got it off my chest. I still wanted to talk about it with my audience, and we had a good time. And then I found out that it wasn't as entertaining as I thought before I even posted it, and it deteriorated potentially my brand.
I feel that.
So it was more like I don't know. It just was the right thing to do in all aspects. And now I feel like I don't even know what to do with my main channel